hear the voice of reason.
Welcome to another edition of Tell It How It Is, No Filter. This is Voice of Reason, in case you didn't know. And I'm glad you could join me once again. Take a moment to just acknowledge, accept, and show your gratefulness to be alive. I say that very mildly, but I want you to take that so serious. If you're able to wake up, it's not about just tapping in, tuning in. The fact that you woke up on this day, the day that you're watching this, you got to really appreciate that, right? All right. So I'm going to do what I don't normally do. You know, I say I don't do stuff, and then sometimes I just switch it up and do it anyway. So congratulations to the Yankees. They beat the wild card Boston Red Sox in the series of the wild card. The last time, it's funny, I didn't really pay attention. It just kept coming on my timeline. Coach Aaron Boone, I'm okay with him. You know, he hasn't really shown greatness, but he shows toughness. Is that fair? So the accolade he gets is the Yankees beat the Red Sox in the wild card, and the last time that Yankees beat Boston in a series, it was off of his home run. So they was giving him flowers for that. So I know that that was an emotional moment for him when they beat Boston, because he can remember that the last time the Yankees did that, it was off of a home run. They were tied in extra innings, and that's like a walk-off. You know what I mean? But people don't really follow baseball. But I just wanted to give flowers to the Yankees. Success is success. How far they go, I don't know. They off the face of Toronto Blue Jays. That, and yo, the WNBA is better than when it first started. Like, I'm actually finding it a little interesting. Like, I happened to tap into some of the game one of the MWA finals. That's the Vegas Aces and Phoenix, think Mercury, right? So Aja Wilson, hope I'm saying her name. I think it's AJ, even though I got the A, but who am I? I didn't name her. Aja Wilson is carrying these women aces. Yo, game one, that was pretty intense. Yo, the women are getting busy. I just wanted to give women flowers in sports. I don't know if they get enough credit, enough accolades or whatever, but I appreciate how far it's come. Women are getting busy. Women are dominating things that we only could have dreamed of in the past. So salute, no funniness. Salute to the women being strong out there. You know what I mean? Showing us men that too can play at that game. That's dope. All right. Diddy gets 50 months, $500K in fines, and 5 years of supervised release after being convicted of transporting former girlfriends for prostitution. So is this over? I didn't bring this up to be current event, but I'm just saying this is over. We can leave him alone. However you feel about this sentence, it's over. Can we move on from the Diddy thing now? That's the final word on that. The Senate adjourned for the weekend after failing for the fourth time to take up either party's proposal to reopen the federal government. So I'm not digging deep here. I just wanted to expose our government for a second. All this shit that's going on around in the fucking world. People are starving. It's war. People are held hostage in Hama, wherever. And y'all got y'all little pissing contest going on. Democrats, Republicans can't come to a who's on who. Yo, I just wanted to expose that. I'm not really staying there. Don't worry about it. All right. And no offense, no joke. Let's pray. Pray for Nicki Minaj. This rant with the Breakfast Club. See, the Breakfast Club can get under your skin. I get it. But what is their job? What are they getting paid for? So with that, I don't know. But Nikki, if no one else says it, I'm sure someone else will. What you've done, the music you've put out, whatever trend you set, whatever bar you've set, can't be taken away. You did what you did. Who took from it, took from it. You get mostly flowers. You did your just due. So if that's over, it might be over, but it's still a stamp in history. So to sit here and go on this rant, I don't know what's going on personally behind your four walls. Does that tie into it? Does it not? Some will say it does. I'm just saying you did your thing. You get GOAT status for however time frame they want to give it to you, right? So leave the people them know, because you coming at the female rappers and the Breakfast Club, like female rappers that's done their thing since you get partial credit for that. I know you heard this other places. I'm not staying here. I'm a person of music, so it's the only reason I'm even talking about it. But Nikki, I'm going to pray for you and lead the people in. That's it. All right, we're going in. Keep that same energy, honestly, and however you feel now, stay that way. So you have business relationships, you have acquaintances, you have people through people you know. How large of a crowd that is, I don't know. Time is going. We ain't got a lot of time. We need to stop playing in people's face. You have your core, friends, solid folks, certain family, partner, whatever makeup you have as your list of your interactions, right? Let's stop playing in people's face. If it ain't solid, if you ain't really feeling it, stop pretending to. There's this cordial, respectful thing that you exchange that energy. You don't show negative, even if you don't really rock with a person. You keep it cordial and keep it pushing. But you know what I'm talking about. Like fake check-ins, random reach outs. If they, people are busy and scheduled, so I won't really bash the random reach outs. If it's genuine and that's your dog, that's your person. Like, yo, them right there, I fucks with them. So, and y'all just can't connect. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Nug G. It's only family, baby. I got you. So situations like that, we cross each other's path when we do. And that's genuine. So even if that's like a random reach out, it comes from a genuine place. But if we don't really rock, and let's do this all across the board. If we don't really rock, help me help you. This is personal and beyond. If you don't really rock with me, there's no need for no interaction at all. Can we just cut it now? Whoever, to whoever. What's how you start letters? To whom it may concern. Let's just stop. And I don't have no issue. This is coming from a calm place, believe it or not. Let's stop. Let's stop interacting. Let's stop looking at stories, posts, wherever, liking stuff. I mean, it's easier said than done. This shit gonna still go on, but I'm at least announcing it. And if it does reach 5 out of the 10 people that do that fugaga, I guess that's mission accomplished. But for real, because time is a wasting, and we want to just keep the real folks we rock with close, and the rest ain't no beef. Just go on about your life. Dead ass. Like, let's stop playing in each other's faces. A lot of that. Everybody can almost say they're guilty. I don't want to sit here. Don't sit here and act like you don't know what I'm talking about and you've never done it. You don't do that. You played in people's face before. You, I'm talking to you. So let's try to stop that. Let's use our time wisely, our energy, everything we can. Can't control the economic system, right? As diligently as we would like, but let's control the things we really can. And that doesn't mean the action of others. So if you're listening and you agree and you start to exercise that, but the other people aren't, you can't control them. You only control you. Thanks for the spray. Sorry, it got to smell good in here. So you're always going to smell that. You're always going to hear that in the pod. All right. Both directions. You will never be flawless. Just be comfortable in your skin. You mean to tell me that trying to be perfect or look perfect, there's a difference, is for you? Let you marinate on that. Because self-love, self-acceptance, self-grace doesn't require that. It doesn't even have it on the radar to be an assignment, to be flawless. You just can't. It's just impossible. So when you even think about this, if this is even a thought, it gotta involve trying to impress people. Who are you trying to impress? What age are you at to try to impress people? Sorry, my teenagers and early 20s. You don't get this because you're like, yeah, that's me. Directly or indirectly, our youth is that. They want to impress and look a certain way. But remain comfortable in your skin. And you know what? All of these things I discuss here, especially when I start and I say, be grateful to be awake, alive, up. You got to give grace. You got to give appreciation to the powers that be. And someone asked me about that powers to be statement because this is a platform for universal reach out. So however far in the world this gets, that's why I say the powers that be. Please don't confuse that with who I associate as the up above. I know. But the powers that be statement is comfortable for all, no matter who you believe or not believe in. So that's why I say powers that be. But that's who should get the grace and the love. And if you're trying to impress anybody, but I ain't gonna get super religious on you. That's the only person you should be trying to impress. But anyway, that's pretty much it. This is open and shut. There's nothing to really linger here. Why? Why is this even a thought? Ask yourself, why is this even a thought? Are you trying to add stress to your life? Because even if you want to act like you're not trying to impress nobody, and let's just play, you are doing this for yourself. For what? Like, what's at the end of trying to do that? Before you even attempt to do it. What does that mean? What does that get you? Unless it's to impress. You know what I mean? So just be comfortable in your skin. Stop overthinking your flaws, which would probably distract to try to be flawless. Stop overthinking your flaws. Work on things as accordingly as you can. And that's it, man. It ain't really that hard. Do you know your biggest fears, or have you conquered it already? If you haven't, start there. That's self, you know what I mean? So you just gotta look to you. I can entertain the fact that we just said you'll never be flawless. So a fear could be, you won't. You can't be. And you fear that. I think that's something maturity can just shut down. Like, you know, if all your life, you're like, I want to be great. I want to be looked at as the best. And you know deep down that's some impossible shit. So you give it energy to make it a fear. So bottom line with this thing called fear, we all gonna have it big to small, but you shouldn't let it conquer you. That's why I said conquer it. Nothing in your life, nothing you do, should fear be the strong emotion in it or the strong factor. You know what I'm saying? Things will rattle you, but never, ever, you hear me? Ever should fear be anything you go off of. The fear comes, you overcome it. Maybe not so, but if you can't overcome it as soon as it hit, you sit it down and you think of ways to get through that. You don't let it fester. You don't let it be a thing where any of your reactions, decisions, and moves should never be based off that. Strongly. So ask yourself, even if you gotta go in front of the mirror, ask yourself, what's my biggest fear? And it's time to get that shit out of here. Capiche? Never let it linger or take over. It may linger, but it should never be a takeover. It's like a parasite. Understand? And last, closing. Got through this kind of quick, huh? Be honest with yourself. Do you crave acceptance? If not, you should be in your most peaceful, stress-free state. This goes back to the flawless. You know why it's crazy? Sorry to flip it. You know the people who really try and damn near are honest with themselves and they move accordingly, they get criticized. They get judged because especially if they have physical flaws, but more so if they're known intimately, like if they're known about and the other flaws, the people them know about it, you get judged, you may get clowned, you may get ridiculed, you know, cyberbullying, real bullying from young to old. It's just different forms. When you're younger, it's definitely more immature. When you older, they try to dress it up and throw maturity in it, but it's still immature. So I get the battle of trying to be yourself, not the flawless thing. I'm not bailing you out of that one. But if you're truly honest with yourself and you don't crave acceptance, I support you and I pray for you while you go through them judging, hating, labeling, clowning. And that's what it is. That's where people are mentally weak at because they listen. They see how the world works. Go online. Social media, I'm telling you, social media is the devil. We still be going on there though. But you're on there now. And you see how people are treated. You see how people respond to negativity. And I hate to go that holier than thou route. I'm really not. But the energy, the attention, the views, the comments, the responses is almost always to negative shit going on. If you ain't popping, if you ain't got, unless you got some super duper exciting shit going on, you jump out of your jet and land on your yacht. Like, that's sad. Like, it's material. Like, if it's not negative, it's material. So if you can outdo the negative, I guess material would be better. But it's either or with the lanes. So when you yourself, you're honest with yourself, you stay humble, you're like, well, this is about what I achieved. This is what I'm going for. This is how it's going to be for me. Simple and plain, you know, whoever that's not good enough for, cool. Because who I said before, the only person you're trying to impress, you should be trying to impress. So all these earthly creatures, I hate to say they don't matter, but they don't matter in your specific life and what you do and what you got going on. If you feel comfortable enough, if you know you honest with yourself, and that's easier. The hardest part of this is answering to yourself truthfully. Do you crave acceptance? Do you want to be accepted? And you can't sit there and go, nah, but I don't want to be not accepted, because that means then you do want to be accepted. Like, who gives a if who likes you or don't like you? But that's why I started this whole thing with, listen, let's stop playing in each other's face. So if we're not of the same cloth, if we're not of the same vision, similar views, similar, break your list down. If it don't equate with that, then get out of here. Take a walk. Take a walk for good. And that's the problem, because we have, and you notice this whole thing, I didn't stand out men or women. I'm not blaming one or the other more. But we have our groups. Like, really look at your group. No matter what, if you got your immediate group circle, that's 2 or 3, and then you have like cool folks that's like 5 to 6, you could draw like this. Your real circle, maybe 2 or 3 people, right? Solid. Then you got like this circle outside of that, but they're cool too. And that's like 5 to 6 maybe. Then you got a bigger circle. Maybe that's like 8 to 10. There's love all around. When you come across them, but they don't compare to that tight circle inside. That's the 2. How all of those people are affect you. So even if you don't have them as the tight circle, the small one, that's why all of this shit get trippy. Because let's say the 8 to 10, that last circle. So you cool, you come across them, what's up? You're engaged, you have a convo. You may actually go hang out, and that's the group. However they're moving and what they do, you may not directly care and be affected, but subconsciously, it does affect you. Because and I won't even draw the worst case. I won't draw the worst scenario for that 8 to 10. I won't say they drug dealers or illegal, whatever. They may be younger, they may be more flashy, maybe they are more material, and now I'll separate it, guys. Let's say the circle before that, you got some cool cats you might have grew up with or you knew a while, and they might be a gang banging, not gang banging, but in a gang or street oriented at any type of, like, you have all these mixtures is my point. And when you have the mixtures, depending on how much energy is fed into all of these circles, that could play with your mental as far as how you should be, and you judging yourself, and you thinking you got to be flawless, and you thinking you got to be accepted. It's because of all of these people you've interacted with, and how all of these different personalities and how they are, you pay attention to, if you do. Now, for women, I don't know how that works the same. There are some women, a lot of them are far different from each other, but the similarities they have is they don't have, I don't see a lot of them having that. Like they may have the circle with the 2 and maybe like another one with like 3 to 4. I don't see them having 6 to and 8 to, when they do, they try to say that that's homeboys. That's not like females. So when a female's like, yo, I got mad homeboys, there's memes and stuff that was said about that, but I care not to discuss that here in its entirety. But it's frowned on, ladies. And I'm going to just leave that at that and close with that. Ladies, when you advocate and promote loudly, oh, I got a lot of male friends, it's frowned upon. I don't care how innocent you think you is, you might be, it's frowned upon. Now challenge me. Oh, mad female, guys have mad female friends. If you want to say that's the same, that's where you can't, ladies, you can't get mad. So it's per individual. But I'm telling you, a female with a lot of male friends is frowned upon by majority of men. If females feel like a man with a bunch of female friends is frowned upon, it's you are frowning on that. Maybe 1 out of 5. I don't know the numbers, but it doesn't compare to how most men look at you having a lot of male friends versus us having a lot of female friends. It's hit or miss. You stand strong. You know, women are so like, I don't want to say funny in a bad way, entertaining, because when they decide something or speak on something, they think they can speak for the masses. And you could get at me and say, well, hush, voice of reason, hush. How can you speak for the masses? Have you spoken organically? And if you can, kudos to your circle. But I'm saying that because of the conversations I had. I didn't just sit here and go, I know for a fact that men don't like women that have male friends. The interactions I have with guys daily can back that up. If you could say the same, cool. But I promise you, if we go globally, it's not going to be a tie. It's not. And it shouldn't matter. You know, we're not going to waste energy to really prove this point. I was just saying that because I got sidetracked with the whole be honest with yourself and don't crave acceptance. And I really do feel like your circle matters and plays a role in that. You know, don't think just because you got a tight circle of 1 to 2 people and those are legit folks that ends it all, even if you have these other circles. Even though these other circles you have don't hold a weight that tight one does. Again, if you interact and you hang out and you engage at all, it can subconsciously affect you. But be strong and don't let it. And then you keep how many other circles you choose, because you know how to place people once you see the value of them, sorry to say. But again, I end with stop playing in people's face. If there's no value whatsoever, no real history, no justified reason for interacting, then don't. Don't hold on to what was and that was cool till it went left. And if the left is not really gotten over and closed, you playing around with stuff. You know what I'm saying? You may not get closure. You may not get justification for why whatever went left went left. Some things are meant to go left and stay there. So on that note, to the next time, you know my 3 Ps: stay positive, stay pushing, and stay progressive. Peace.
This shit don't hit, bro. You should quit, yo. Got many styles. This time I give you this flow. How the list go? Me, Biggie, then Nas. Maybe not. This still my city. Real lies. Raise eyes with a comment like that. Any shit I DM, and she coming right back. For a second pass, and she peep how I spit. My weapon blast, I shouldn't speak about it. Just say fair warning if you try to play the boy. This Dave in Rames, and I guess you baby boy. You can pay me more. Never do the ships delay. Better chance your boy running out of shit to say. Dreams of them killing me, so next to me the pistol lay. While I rest, you can text drama tickle me like Elmo. Hell no, you reaching for a ball. Thirst buck, worse luck. Fiending the